मसँग बैंक लुट्ने मास्टर प्लान छ। मसँग काम गर पासा 25 लाखको अनुहार देखाइदिन्छु तँलाई। हात चटेर।
Haku lives in poverty, and he believes that the only way to get something is by snatching. So he has now come up with a plan to rob a bank in order to end his hardship life. He is now searching for accomplices who are willing to do anything for money, and the first person he chooses is Devon. Devon is a hustler who deals in drugs and small firearms. Haku starts observing his every move, and one day, he decides to make a deal with him. He meets him in one public place, and purchases a pistol. Devon believes that he has met Haku before, so he asks him, but Haku just brushes him off and walks away. Then one day, Devon notices that Haku is tailing him, so he decides to lead Haku to a secluded alley. He then suddenly grabs him from behind, and holds a knife to his neck. Devon asks Haku why he is following him, but Haku quickly counters his hold and takes full control of him. Haku then tells him to stop living by doing the small drug deals, and proposes his plan to rob a bank. At first, Devon refuses, but after hearing he will get $2.5 million by doing this task, he agrees to join. Now the second person Haku chooses is Naresh. Naresh works as a bouncer, and he has a habit of gambling. In a match of 3 cards, he runs out of money to bet, so he asks for some money from Manny, who is a loan shark. Manny gives him $15,000, and reminds him that he has taken a total of $40,000 in loans till now. Naresh luckily wins the game, and manages to pay back all of his loan with some extra money in his pocket. He then walks out from the game room, and he is positive that one day he will make big money. At night, while doing his work, one drunk customer starts making a scene. Then Haku meets Naresh while he is dealing with it, and Haku is impressed by his method of working. In the washroom, Naresh asks his coworker for a loan, claiming it's for his sister's medical treatment. The coworker agrees to give him money, and Naresh is determined to double that money through gambling. At that same time, Haku was also using the bathroom, and he listened to all of their conversations. The next day, Naresh again goes to the game room and starts to gamble. After some time, he finally gets the promising hand of a pure sequence of queen, king, and ace, but he is again out of money, so he asks Manny to give him about $30,000. Naresh had already taken loans before, so now he is in debt for a total of $90,000. Naresh is confident that he will win, and reveals his cards, but he is completely shocked when he is defeated by a trial of 8s. Naresh now decides to leave, and Manny tells him to pay back his money within a week. But Naresh has no means to pay back the money, so he decides to hide, and after 15 days, Manny's accomplices catch him while he is out to purchase some goods. Naresh tries to make some excuses, but Manny ignores it, and decides to take him to his place to torture him. Knowing what is about to happen to him, Naresh somehow manages to free himself and tries to run away. Then Manny starts chasing him, and in one small alley, Haku grabs Naresh out of nowhere. Now Haku and Naresh are surrounded by Manny and his accomplices. Haku steps in, and says to Manny that he will pay back Naresh's debt. He then gives $10,000 in advance and tells him that the remainder will be paid after 3 days. Manny doesn't want to do anything irrational, so he believes in Haku's words and leaves. Haku then gives Naresh a cigarette, and asks him to join in his plan to rob a bank. With no other options in hand, Naresh agrees to work with him. Now the other 2 remaining accomplices of Haku's are Jugat and Gopal. They both are unemployed, and also a room partners. All day, they just walk around, and play some board games with others to pass the time. Then every evening they go to one small hotel, which is run by Haku. They always have a drink there, and talk about their problems. Jugat has a girlfriend named Aisha. She is from a rich family, and recently, her parents have arranged her marriage with a guy who is a US green card holder. So Jugat is worried, and he is mad at his own poverty-stricken life. Gopal tries to calm him down, and gives him a stupid idea to kidnap his own girlfriend, and ask for a ransom from her father. Jugat just ignores his nonsense talking, and Haku overhears their conversation. Haku needs extra men to carry out his robbery plan, and after hearing their conversation, he thinks they can be perfect for it. The next day, Jugat meets Aisha, and suggests telling her parents about their relationship. But Aisha believes that her father will never accept their relationship, because Jugat is poor and unemployed. They argue over this matter, so Aisha starts crying, and tells him that if he doesn't do anything within the next month, she will have to marry another guy. Hearing this, Jugat gets angry, and shouts at her, so Aisha leaves in tears without saying anything. Meanwhile, Haku has already introduced Naresh to Devon, and they have already started to work on their plan to rob a bank. Then one evening, Naresh and Devon decide to meet Haku at his hotel to discuss the plan. Devon says that he has been observing and has already started to map the layout of the bank. Whereas, Naresh will be quitting his job after a few days in order to fully work on the plan. Haku then goes back to his work, and at that same time, Jugat and Gopal arrive in the hotel to have a drink. Haku had told Devon and Naresh about the other two new accomplices, so Naresh goes to the kitchen to discuss with Haku, but drops his purse while standing up. Haku doesn't want to talk about the plan inside the hotel, so he tells Naresh to go back and wait. Meanwhile, Gopal has already noticed Naresh's purse on the floor, and he is itching to steal it. So Gopal makes Jugat quickly finish his drink, and tells him that they should leave immediately. Jugat has no idea why Gopal is anxious, but agrees to leave, and Gopal pretends to drop his cigarette, and picks up the purse. Jugat pays the bill, and they leave, but Haku stops them on the way. Haku knew that Gopal had taken Naresh's purse, so he orders him to give it back. Gopal tries to deny the accusation, and shortly afterward, Devon and Naresh also come outside. After some discussion, Gopal gives in, and returns the purse. But Naresh gets angry, so he steps in, and now they start to brawl with each other. Gopal fights against Devon, and Jugat fights against Naresh, and Haku just watches them while smoking the cigarette. After seeing enough, Haku takes out his gun and orders them to stop fighting. He then tells Gopal and Jugat to not come to his hotel from now on. But Gopal thinks that it is unfair to pull out the gun in the fistfight, so he gets angry, and challenges Haku. Haku says he doesn't like to fight in his area, so he gives his phone number to Gopal, and tells him to call if he wants to settle this matter in any other place. After that, Jugat and Gopal walk out from there, and Haku's wife is angry at him because of his involvement in the fight. Turns out, Haku had spent 3 years in jail because he almost beat one guy to death, and recently, he also took all of her jewelry to pay off Naresh's 90,000 debt. She then starts complaining about their poor miserable life, but Haku manages to comfort her with his playful words. Then one day, out of nowhere, Gopal and Jugat meet Haku. After seeing Haku, Gopal immediately starts to beat him, and Jugat also joins in. They end up brawling inside the buffalo slaughterhouse, and Haku easily manages to keep up with them by using his brain. After some fighting, Haku grabs Gopal's special place, and Gopal is now completely defenseless. Haku is impressed with their courage, so he asks them to join in his plan to rob a bank. He tells them to work with him for 1 month, and they will each get 2.5 million. At first, Gopal doesn't believe him, so he asks for 25,000 in advance, but Haku only gives him 2,000. Even though 2,000 is way lower than what he was asking, he still takes it, and agrees to join. But Jugat doesn't want to get involved in any of this, and he also suggests Gopal stay out of it. Gopal then tries to convince Jugat, because he thinks this is a golden chance to get out of poverty. He then reminds Jugat that if he doesn't do anything within 40 days, he will lose Aisha from his life. Left with no choice, Jugat also decides to join. And now all 5 start to work on the plan. They make one abandoned rooftop their gathering place, and their detailed plan is, they will use 3 motorbikes to go to the bank at exactly 12:30 p.m., and Devon is responsible for changing the number plates and arranging the guns. Haku will already be inside the bank, analyzing the situation, and after confirming everything is okay, he will come outside and signal them to proceed, by smoking 1 puff of a cigarette. Then he will go inside the bank, and blend in with other customers. He will only do something if the situation gets worse, otherwise, he will remain silent. Gopal will take care of the guard, and then Jugat and Devon will gather all customers and employees in one place. Naresh will force the manager to open the bank vault, and then Devon and Jugat will collect all the money. They will then flee the bank from the backside of the building, using the restroom's window. After 1 hour, they will return back to the rooftop, and hide motorbikes and guns that they have used. They will then divide the money, and go their separate ways, aiming to cross the border as quickly as possible. The plan seems foolproof. And 2 days before the robbery, they all are still observing the movement of the bank, and they also try rehearsing some scenes. After some time, Devon and Naresh are together at the rooftop, smoking the cigarette. Naresh then proposes his new plan to Devon, to betray the group, and take all the money. He tells him, by doing this, they will each get 5 million. Devon gets interested, and as Naresh is about to explain his plan, Jugat suddenly pushes Devon from behind, so he falls down on the pile of bricks. Devon gets angry, and he kicks in Jugat's center part. Shortly after, Gopal also arrives, and actually, Jugat and Gopal were racing to get to the rooftop, and in a rush, Jugat accidentally bumped into Devon. But because of the misunderstanding, they again start to brawl with each other. After some time, Haku arrives and tries to break up their fight, but can't do it. He is now really pissed, so he takes out his gun to stop the fight. The robbery is in 2 days, and they are still fighting with each other, so Haku thinks he chose the wrong accomplices, and in anger, he says the plan is cancelled. Seeing Haku angry, all four immediately reconcile with each other and apologize to Haku. Haku forgives them and decides to continue with the plan. That night, Naresh explains his plan to Devon. He says after robbing the bank, they will have the money, so they will leave Jugat and Gopal behind by taking another way. After that, they will go to his friend's house, split the money, and go their own separate way. Devon agrees with the plan, and he warns Naresh not to betray him, or else he will find and kill him. Now one day before the robbery, Jugat calls Aisha, and tells her that he is going to score some big money, and he keeps the robbery part a secret. He also tells her to be ready for tomorrow, because he will come to pick her up to elope. Now the day to rob a bank has come, and all five are fully prepared, and they gather around the rooftop. According to the plan, Haku tells them to arrive at the bank at exactly 12:30 p.m., and he leaves first to go to the bank, so that he can blend in among the customers. Just as planned, the remaining four come to the bank, and wait for Haku to come outside for the signal. They keep waiting, but Haku doesn't come outside, so Jugat calls him, but doesn't get any response. After some time, they notice a crowd has formed outside the bank, and they find out that the bank has already been robbed. They are in total shock, and immediately try to walk out from there. Turns out, Haku has already robbed a bank with a different group. Devon, Naresh, Jugat, and Gopal were just pawns of his plan, because before them, Haku had already chosen his real accomplices. The way to rob a bank was the same. Haku dressed as an old man to blend in among the customers, and his original group robbed the bank by 12:30 p.m. After the robbery, Haku calls the police as an anonymous caller, and gives all the detailed information of the second group, framing them as real robbers. Now he goes to meet his original group, and Lone Shark Manny was one of his accomplices all along. Then they split the money, and go their own separate way to cross the border as soon as possible. Meanwhile, police have already arrested Devon, Naresh, Jugat, and Gopal with evidence. Aisha is packing her things to run away from home, but she sees her boyfriend Jugat in handcuffs on the news, so she is now completely heartbroken. Police try to search for Haku, but he has already packed up his things and crossed the border. When the bank robbery situation calms down, Haku comes back with a completely new makeover, and starts living a luxurious life in the city of Kathmandu with his wife and son. So this was the movie Loot. It is a Nepalese heist thriller movie and was released in 2012. In short, Haku makes a plan to rob a bank, and chooses two groups of accomplices. One group is responsible for the actual bank robbery, while the other is designed to be framed as the real robbers. Comment down below if you liked the plot of the movie, and remember to subscribe to the channel for more movie breaks.